A very big problem on YouTube is a chord, and I want to get into it. Let's start. First of all, I want to point this out. I am not using this for views. This is that should not and will not be used for views. And I just want to put that out of the way. Second of all, I am not a person who knows Corey in real life. I am a fan of his content, and that is... Now, let's get on to the video. Now, I just want to point this out. I think that this entire situation may or may not be exaggerated, but there will, of course, be people who will, and I know it, who will disagree with me. So if you want to disagree with me, go right ahead. I don't know what I'm talking about, honestly, but I just want to put my opinion out here that I think that YouTube needs to change. Now, I believe it was 20, maybe 18, 17, YouTube had got in trouble with, I think it was CIA or FBI, I'm not sure myself, and because they were doing something marketing, I think, with something about children. I can't remember, it's a long time ago, but I think this was the first step that probably caught my eye. I wasn't doing YouTube at the time, but it definitely caught my eye because, well, for starters, COPPA, which is now the system that pretty much controls YouTube, has, well, destroyed it. I think a very, very tough situation is that YouTubers such as myself, who aren't family friendly, have problems. What I'm talking about is last week I got a copyright strike. Well, actually, it wasn't a copyright strike. It was more of a demonetization to a song that was put in my video from a Dying Light from 2 weeks ago. Now, I also had to put a test, but to pretty much put it, I don't know if they can or cannot have favorites, or whatever the way of saying it is, for my opinion. I think that YouTube actually does need to take a serious turn. They need to fix it. First thing is, they need to get rid of the bots and everything. I honestly think that it is a very, very bad situation that this, as a whole, has happened at all. It's very bad, and a major problem right now is COPPA is shit. It's shit. It's terrible. That is one of the many reasons I just want to point out there. Please, for the love of God, YouTube, remove COPPA, or just try to do something with it so that it isn't as bad as it is right now. Another situation I want to talk about is the favoritism side, because I think I may or may not be a part of that. I just mentioned that I got a copyright mention for a second song, a song that was 1 second long. That was, well, there for 1 second, of course, but that's all I want to mention. But no, that's not what I went in here. Actually had decided to look into this whole situation. I had muted the song. A while later, another song had came up that was supposed to be last week's video, and when I was uploading that, YouTube did nothing. I was planning on trying to mute the song and all, but I knew that YouTube would recognize that there may or may not have been a song in this scene, so I expected another demonetization, even though I don't get any money. But no, there was nothing, absolutely nothing. And I was like, huh, that's strange. But I didn't think anything of it because I had removed the song through editing. Now, I wanted to put something to the test. I grabbed the clip from, was in 100% copyrighted. Keep that in mind. And I knew that this probably will get copyrighted or may affect my channel in a huge way. Nothing happened. Not a single strike, copyright, demonetization, nothing. I was like, what the fuck? I was so confused. So, and this by chance was probably after Critical or Ludwig released their video stating on what has happened to YouTube and why it's shit. It is in a shithole and everything, and I just want to mention this. But if you probably lost track on what the hell I'm saying, let me just catch you up to speed. Pretty much, YouTube is not doing so well. It has racism probably in its, what was it, situation that Corey had put in its video. He put a video about the marketary assistant, and that got, well, age restricted. He reviewed it. He reviewed that age restriction. It got reviewed. It got denied, and he went around. He was confused because no one else got age restricted. Then he came around to the same clip. He knew what probably happened. They pretty much said, "Oh, it was probably this weak clip at the end." So he went around looking for it. Boom, nothing. Until he came across, aka the best YouTuber I've ever came across. Well, one of the nicest YouTubers, Markiplier. He had the same clip, no age restriction, so that caught me on as well, because I, as a YouTuber myself, had also noticed that this was some activity right here on YouTube. Now, I just want to mention this. I don't think this should be a situation that should be, well, taken so lightly. I think this is a situation that needs to be addressed to YouTube or Susan as a whole, because I feel like Susan does not know about this, unless she does, and she's literally the one who's in charge of this whole racism and favoritism situation. Now, back to what I was mentioning about that copyright song and all. Pretty much what had happened was that nothing had happened. I literally emailed YouTube about this, and they said they found nothing wrong. Nothing was wrong with the video. Now, I decided to go to my friend, aka Evie, and I asked him, "Hey, have you ever watched a YouTuber had this song in their video, and, well, something bad happened?" And, well, pretty much, yes. Yes. Now, that pretty much happened, yada yada yada. He pretty much explained to me on while we were doing stuff. Probably doesn't remember it. Pretty much what had happened is that another YouTuber, don't know who he was, Evie probably knows who he was. He'll probably tell me later, but this guy had got copyrighted and demonetized for the song for the entire YouTube video, literally. But that's not the main thing. The main thing was that I just showed this to YouTube, and I was like, "Hey YouTube, what about this guy? He has the song I used. How come he's copyrighted and demonetized, yet I'm not?" And you wanna know what they did? They pretty much did the same exact thing that happened to Corey. They put a video, they demonetized my channel, they didn't copyright it, however, I'll just mention that, they didn't copyright it, yet they put something off, they demonetized it, even though, like I said, don't get monetization. Now, I think this was like a completely unfair thing. Now, it wasn't like this creator was Irish, or he wasn't black. No, this guy was just straight on a normal YouTuber that is on the platform. Now, I think before I literally just end the video here, I just want to mention this. YouTube, get your shit together, please, for the love of God. Like, your channel's taking a hole. Your entire website, app, whatever you want to call it, it's in shit tons of fucked up piles of scrap. Now, what I think here is that YouTube definitely has racism on their team of, well, reviewers, but it also has another problem as well, which is the bots, which I won't go into detail with, but I'll pretty much say this: it ain't good. It's looks like it really looks like the no matter whoever, no matter whatever you are or something, the bots will probably monetize you or demonetize you or put you in their favor, which, well, for one, that's not fucking possible. But I just want to mention this. Please get your shit together, YouTube, and start acting like responsible, because I ain't having it, honestly. Well, thank you all for watching to the end. If you don't know why the hell I'm speaking so like gibberish, I'm very sorry. I have a bit of a speaking problem with, well, if you ever heard of it, DCD and all, so sorry about that, but I just wanted to get this out of my off my chest. Same goes to Evie. He wanted to tell me about this entire situation and get it off his chest. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good